Hey worthy restoration viewers, this is episode 2 of working on this 2-tag 1969 Daytona Bronze LC GTR, and today you can see all the work that I've been doing to pull this engine bay apart and actually get the correct parts back into it. A lot of it wasn't right. There's still a few issues that are floating around with it at the moment, but a lot of this is going to be coming out and the correct parts are going to either be refurbished or correct parts supplied and put back in. You can just see some of the stuff that's come out today. And this wiring loom wasn't the best. If we look at this almost looks like house cable. It's that thick, which is incorrect. And if you look at your ignition switch here, it's just almost waiting for a fire. So this will need to be pulled apart and rewrapped only after I've repaired all the wires to make sure that it's safe, because I reckon that would have been a perfect example of a fire. But anyway, moving around here, I wanted to show you something because it actually had a cable set up here for the accelerator, and this particular car was missing the brackets that you need to run for the carburetor, and along here, along this wall as well, which is a bit strange, but then not uncommon for a car of this age, because most of the times, if they ran a different setup, which was triple Webers, along here, you'd have to cut these brackets off. But I don't think that's the case with this particular one, because there's a couple of weird things that have taken place on this car. One of them being all of these lugs have been taken off for your rear window trim and just flattened, which is obviously a choice of the panel shop, because the GTR badges that sit in here, they've been filled in as well. Which I'll need to drill back out again. But I want to take over to the accelerator setup, which I have here. So I've got the correct GTR rods, correct GTR bracket, and this is what they call a bell crank. And this is the setup that actually goes along the firewall. So this is all correct in here. And the battery tray, the correct battery tray needs to go back in there, because I had a GTR XU1, which is a lot thinner. I just don't understand why they didn't put these in. And why they take them off, which is a bit strange. And I wanted to show you inside the car, and yet again, one of the key identifiers of a GTR. It's also the bracket, so you can actually see where they've drilled it all out, where these two brackets are meant to go, and just put a plate over it. Why, I've got no idea, but maybe they just wanted to have it flush, who knows. But clearly it's not going to work without those brackets back in the car. So this one's going to go off to the panel shop to get some repairs. One of them being in the boot area. There's some dents. It's definitely a GTR boot as well, with the badging here and here. But it's going to get the GTR stripes. So it'll be running along here, and also the bonnet stripes as well. And somebody put the wrong LJ GTR mirror on here. That's not where it goes on an LC. It's meant to go about there. So I've had to take that off. This will be welded up and then repainted along this stretch along here. So lots of little bits and pieces that need to be cleaned up and fixed, but it will be done. And there'll also be about several holes over here which have got tape that will be welded up and blown back in with this correct color of black. Also the wiper motor's got to come out as well. Whoever decided to put that in there put it in the wrong way, and I cannot pull the blanking plate out at the moment because it's hitting the mechanism for your wiper motor. So it only comes out so far, and then it won't let me bring it out any further. It's butt up against it, so I'm gonna have to put my arm in here, disconnect all the bolts that hold this in here, and then disconnect the wiper mechanism to then pull this blanking plate out. Interestingly, because that's in the wrong way, if somebody went to put power through this wiper motor when everything was reassembled, what would have happened is that the wiper arms would have gone down and kept going down and hitting all here and potentially onto the bonnet as well, because it's around the wrong way. It's wrong. Anyway, lots more to work on with this car. This is episode 2, missing the filler plates in here. And most importantly, and one other thing I wanted to show you all, is this is the part that it's missing along the back for the seat mechanisms. So I'm probably going to get these fabricated and made important parts, super expensive if you can find them. Most people can't, so I just need to get them made now. It's my only option. Unfortunately, that's what happens with these cars, these 53-year-old cars. Check out episode 3, that will be coming. Keep watching for that. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. This one will come up an absolute treat when she's finished. So this is the end product of what we're shooting for with the other Daytona. Just gives you some sort of an idea.